Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the most up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. We're going to get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are mixed this morning, with S&P futures up 0.12%, Dow futures up 0.21%, and NASDAQ futures down 0.06%. Markets have fluctuated between declines in tech stocks and gains in cyclical shares. The dollar has strengthened, having one of its best months since March of last year, while Treasuries have remained steady and oil has climbed ahead of an OPEC meeting to discuss output policy as well as Iranian nuclear talks. Over in Europe, energy firms and banks led gains while tech shares dropped and travel shares got a lift from a report that the UK plans to ease tourism rules. In Asia, most major markets saw modest declines after purchasing managers' indices suggested curbs imposed to fight the virus had leached output in various countries. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
Hi, Shane. How you doing? I'm watching the S&Ps. I've been watching the S&Ps all morning. They're ticking higher. This morning, the key aspect is the jobless claims economic report that's coming out. That's due about 1 hour before the market opens. That's what everybody is looking towards. Stocks really have been lifted to record highs by, data showing that the U.S. economy is growing at a rapid pace. And this, the jobless claims is just going to be another factor to coincide with that belief. Second quarter earnings look good. But I do feel that the markets are entering into a slowdown period, which typically means you could see some selling going on. European markets, they opened up really strong. The DAX moved higher by 0.82% this morning. I look at it now; it's actually trading a little lower, and that bothers me. You went positive to negative, not a good sign. We also have that OPEC announcement that's coming today. They're expecting to do an increase of 500,000 barrels per day. That number could increase. I've seen figures as high as 2 million, and I've seen some analysts think they're going to do no cut at all or no production increase at all. So it'll be interesting to see what happens today. But I'm still focused on last night's earnings because that's where I think a lot of the volatility is at for this morning.
Let's talk about last night's earnings. Micron did pretty well. Bill, why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, Micron did well. They beat by 17 cents on higher revenue. They raised their guidance. They had some positive things in their earnings statement, but the stock did get a little ahead of itself in front of the earnings, which is why you're seeing the stock trading lower right now by 1.8%. Walgreens Boots Alliance, that's ticker WBA, William Boy Apple, they did a 34-cent beat on higher revenue when they raised their guidance, their 2021 guidance up to 10%, which, the old estimate was high single digits. So that's a big plus. If you look at the stock, it's trading 3.5% higher. Ticker LNN, it's Lindsay, Larry, Nancy. They delivered a 31-cent beat on higher revenue. McCormick, ticker MKC, Michael Kilo Charlie, they beat by 9 cents on higher revenue. They did a slightly higher guidance raise. And you look at that stock and it's up 0.41% in the pre-market.
Moving into our economic reports, Bill, tell us what we're seeing as far as reports today.
At 8:30, a.m., that's 1 hour before the market opens, we have the jobless claims coming out. This is going to be a big claim. This is going to be a big one that we're looking for. Analysts are expecting the number of claims to have fallen to 390,000 last week. At 9:45, we have the PMI manufacturing. This is the final report. At 10 a.m., we have the ISM manufacturing index. And also at 10 a.m., we have figures on construction spending. In terms of Fed speak, we have Atlanta's Fed Bank President Raphael Bostic speaking at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll have to hear what he has to say in terms of his economic outlook.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off on Inspirato. The company, which is currently private, is set to become a public company through a merger with Thayer Ventures Acquisition, that's ticker TVAC, with a combined company value of $1.1 billion. The company will trade on NASDAQ under the ticker symbol ISPO. In other news, Journey Medical has partnered with Dr. Reddy's Laboratories to develop a treatment for rosacea. Lots of news on oil. starting with Royal Dutch Shell, ticker RDS. The company plans to leave its California-based oil and gas joint venture with ExxonMobil, ticker XOM. More deal making could take place this year, with Chevron looking to sell about $1 billion of its assets in the Permian Basin of Texas and New Mexico. Exxon, Occidental Petroleum, and others are also looking to shed unwanted assets and raise cash, according to industry experts. A little bit of the rumor is based upon the idea that oil companies are trying to get out in light of the 2035 push for cars to be moving into electric. More oil industry news. ExxonMobil, ticker XOM, is set to sell its elastic polymers business to Celanese, ticker CE, for $1.15 billion. Celanese share price is up 1.58% in pre-market, while Exxon's is up 1.17%. In other news, DraftKings, ticker DKNG, will be an official sponsor of the 2021 Nathan's Famous 4th of July International Hot Dog Eating Contest, and Nathan's Famous ticker is NATH. And the company will be providing a platform for betting on the outcomes of the event. So DraftKings share price is up 0.25% in pre-market. News on Accenture, ticker ACN. The company is set to acquire Ethica Consulting, a group of software tech companies in Italy, on undisclosed terms. In other news, MKS Instruments, ticker MKSI, is set to acquire Atotech, ticker ATC, for $5.1 billion. MKS share price is down 0.53% in pre-market. News on ADT, ticker ADT. The company has filed an infringement suit against Vivint Smart Home, ticker VVNT, a security and alarm company headquartered in Provo, Utah, after Vivint had introduced and promoted a series of products willfully infringing upon several of ADT's patents, as ADT is stating. ADT share price is up 0.09% in pre-market. News on Philips, ticker PHG. The company is collaborating with the Spanish CNIC on a new fast cardiac MRI protocol research to develop an MRI technique that could reduce the procedure time for a full evaluation of heart anatomy and function from about 1 hour down to a few minutes. So this is definitely one to keep looking at in days ahead. Lastly, for me, one on Apollo Global, ticker APO. The company is buying up to 24.9% stake in Moving Partners, an investment firm focused on tech companies in the financial services industry, for $1 billion. The acquisition is intended to help Apollo increase distribution to reach individual investors and improve its deal origination capabilities. APO share price is down 0.79% in pre-market. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Well, as you know, Shane, I break my news into specific segments. I'm looking for specific alerts on industries. I'm looking for specific alerts on events. So when that breaking news hits, I can react quickly and take advantage of the price action before the crowd gets into it. I'm looking at my FANG alert this morning. A federal judge in Florida on Wednesday, he blocked the state from enforcing key parts of a new law that makes social media companies such as Twitter and Facebook potentially liable for censoring political candidates. The news media and other users, were really concerned about this one. They put their lobbying efforts together, and they really did do some good, I think, here down in Florida. I'm looking over at Amazon, that's ticker AMZN. Amazon has filed a request with the Federal Trade Commission for the recusal of Chairwoman Lena Khan from the antitrust investigations of the e-commerce company. She's been very negative about it, and they don't feel that she's going to be able to provide an unbiased lead as chairwoman of that committee. Facebook, ticker FB, their WhatsApp app. They're going to be rolling out viewed once messages. That's similar to what Snapchat does, so we'll see if that does anything for Facebook today. Also, Facebook, their Instagram is developing its own version of Twitter's Super Follow. This feature gives creators access to publish exclusive content for their fans and would likely have to be a subscription payment model of some sort. Roku, that's ticker ROKU, Richard Oscar Kilo Wonder. Stock's up 4% after the New York Times said that on the Apple TV, they're going to give a remote with a Roku button. So that's an Apple and Roku story, and it's very good for Roku, ticker ROKU. My Dow Jones 30 alert, I'm looking at Johnson & Johnson, the U.S. Surgeon General, says that their COVID vaccine may protect against the Delta strain. He didn't say it would, he said it may. I'm looking at 3M, very interesting. I'm seeing some very heavy call activity in 3M shares yesterday. Couple of stories to watch. Philip Morris, ticker MO, the cigarette maker, will buy nicotine gum maker 13 Pharma from a private equity group for $813 million. The company said it's really looking to build its smoke-free portfolio. Texas Instruments, that's ticker TI, Tom India, they're buying Micron's factory in Utah for $900 million to boost their chip production capabilities. CureVac, that's ticker CVAC, Charlie Victor, Apple Charlie. The German biotech firm said it is in discussions with the European Union about when and where it should best deploy its experimental COVID-19 vaccine if it wins approval. The problem here is that the company said late Wednesday that its vaccine is only 48% effective. And that's not really a good sign. You're looking at CureVac shares this morning, they're trading lower. Blackstone, that's ticker GSK, Grace Sam Kilo. Activist investor Elliott Capital Management. These guys feel, they published a letter and they feel that GSK shares are 45% undervalued. I'm looking over my option headlines. Oil sector vols are continuing to run low into that OPEC announcement. Looking at some ETFs here, the XLE, X-ray Larry Edward, 30-day option implied volatility is at 30 compared to the 52-week range of 27 to 52. USO, that's United States Oil Fund, under Sam Oscar, USO, 30-day option implied volatility is at 31. The 52-week range here is 28 to 61. So, we're going to be watching for that oil announcement from OPEC a little later this morning. It's going to be a key one. But that's what I have in terms of my hot news I'm looking at this morning, Shane.
Let's go ahead and move into our Trade Talk picks for today. I'm picking DraftKings, ticker DKNG, one I spoke about. This is off the news of the Nathan's famous 4th of July eating hot dog competition, the fact that they're placing bets on it. It could seem silly, but you know what? So was the Domino's over-under bet that they organized for the company and whether or not they would be able to deliver 80% of their pizzas under 2 minutes. But that moved them about 2%. So it was actually a good pick for us that day. And this is a similar news story, and I think it could do the same thing. So that's my pick. They're already up 0.25% in pre-market, so we know they're looking favorable or positive, but I think they'll continue to today. So that's my pick. What's yours looking like, Bill?
I'm going with McDonald's, ticker MCD, Michael Charlie David. Their earnings don't come out until July 26th, but this one is going to start running into earnings. Fast food stocks are going to be in focus today with the Krispy Kreme IPO. That Krispy Kreme IPO is not going to be as successful. They already, pulled back some of the shares. So I think that they're going to be looking at other fast food companies, and McDonald's really is best of breed. You look at it and you realize that at 231, it's pretty cheap. So it's got a ways to run into earnings, and I'm thinking we could see a $1 gain in the stock price of McDonald's today. So that's my pick for today, MCD.
Let's go ahead and move into what's hot off the press. So this is the news that's hitting the tape as we speak. It'll be moving the stocks a day. Let's get into it. So, Bill, which are the headlines you think we should be letting traders know about?
A couple automotive headlines just to throw out there. Ford Motor Company to idle assembly plants due to the semiconductor chip shortage. And here's one, it's Tesla. Tesla's rival NIO. Shares are up 3% in the pre-market after it reports record deliveries for June for the month and a quarter. Google, I see one on Google, GOOG. Unisys joins Google Cloud Partner Advantage Program.
Here's one on Aqua Metals, ticker AQMS. Aqua Metals and Acme signed an LOI to deploy aqua refining technology in Taiwan. Here's a stock watch for everybody. Sparrow Therapeutics, ticker SPRO. Shares are up 28% in pre-market following a $40 million equity investment from Pfizer. Fiesta Restaurant, ticker FRGI, is set to sell Taco Cabana brand to Yadav for $85 million.
I'm seeing a news report out here how Gap stores, it's ticker GPS, they're going to shut their UK and Ireland stores at the end of August. They're going to really focus on their e-commerce.
Here's one on HP Enterprise, ticker HPE. The company is set to acquire Zerto for $374 million.
See, UBS just cut their price target on Micron.
Here's an interesting one. Oyster Point Pharma, ticker OYST, announced today positive preclinical data from a study on the company's nasal spray against COVID-19. Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, not at this time.
Same here, so that'll do it for what's hot at the press. But traders, keep in mind you can receive the same breaking stories we do simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out for a free trial today. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Wednesday. I had Micron, ticker MU. It opened at $84.85, then dipped down to $83.53 at around 10 a.m. before going back up to $84.98 at the end of the day. So not much to be made, relatively flat, positive, but flat, unless you got in later in the morning, in which case you could have made close to 2%. But overall, just kind of a okay move. How did yours end up doing, Bill?
I did Lindsay, that's ticker LNN, Larry, Nancy. Stock opened up at 161.27, 161.27. Already hit a high of the day of 165.74. That was a big move, and the stock settled and closed at 165.28. What can I say? A $4 move is always nice.
Nice. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk with Traders. You know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.